Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue unpacking some supposedly new, you know, Paleolithic characters. That heart is one of the first characters that it's important in our language because humans were emotional animals, and heart was used as the organ to express our emotional state. And you can see in contemporary Chinese, simplified, traditional, they look the same because it cannot be further simplified. That's how one way also you can tell it's from the tradition, from the Paleolithic age, because it was invented back then, starting from simple. And then all the simple lots were taken, and we start to build, get more complicated ideas. So heart, if you look at a mid history, which is about 2,000 years ago, rendering, somebody say it's a script, like a format of the Chinese characters that looks almost like a lobster, right? It's almost symmetrical, except the bottom is diagonal line going to the right. So my interpretation of that is to ancient people as well as today, the simplification of what the heart is, it serves as the pump. And this is the chamber. And then we have an incoming tube, outgoing tube, right? We have to have our circulation, uh, internal looped circulation that's pumping in and out, right? So two major tubes. And then the third tube is the power line to the heart itself, because that organ, non-stopping organ, as long as we live, needs energy as well. So that's our heart. And expressions, all starting from heart. Okay, 心如止水, the heart like still water. Okay, if you still remember Paleolithic character water, it's flowing through nature. And water is supposed to flow. If it stops, if it gets still, something wrong with it, right? It's not, I guess ancient times people build a reservoir. Did they build a reservoir? Probably for irrigation purpose, not really for, get into your tap water. But water, once it becomes still, I I guess it exists probably somewhat in nature because there could be water poodles captured within a contained environment without flowing, without incoming and outgoing. So it's like a heart not pumping. And we're describing the state of mind like that, which is most likely happen post-traumatic after a breakup. A breakup became traumatic enough in today's engagement that we have to, Chinese have this expression of the heart remain still, like still water, so that you don't get the turbulence, so that you don't get triggered, so that you don't get breakdowns after breakups. Okay, so that's 心如止水,心神不宁, heart, soul, not peace. And simply, this is English, somebody is not at peace, except that that's, we don't really specify exactly is not at peace. But the Chinese give you directly, your heart and soul are not at peace. And then I came to face the two characters distinguishing, like heart represent the emotional state. Then what soul is? Uh, okay, if you know a little bit about Chinese, this soul is actually made of the divine decoder with the divine message. Okay, so divine message is our lightning sign. So we read, of course, we will regard our environment of or the supernatural, like beyond the human control and understanding scope of existence out there, something out there, as the message from heaven, heaven in the Christian lingo, but something from up there. So the closest we observable sign from there is lightning. So lightning was regarded as the message written in the sky from the divinity to humans, right? And divine decoder is the person supposed to be specially trained or knowledgeable, be expert in decoding such message. And divine decoding made the concept of soul. So in a way, each of us, well, at the beginning, it serves as the oracle for the whole tribe, right? Some designated person have this soul, not soul reading, but divine reading capacity, eventually transfer to individuals. We are supposed to be able to receive that message from divinity. So heart and soul, in my distinction, would be the heart represent your relationship with other humans, and your heart reflect that emotional state, uh, tightly uh, related to interpersonal relationship. But this soul is interdivinity. Well, I don't know if there's a term for that, but it's kind of like a transcendental. It's like you with the universe, with non-human, like a beyond human tribe scope. Uh, Asking big questions like why you're here, right? Not like why he breaks up with me kind of question. So xin and shen in Chinese represent two levels of our consciousness, our particular relationships with others and relationship with really our inner universe, extended or connected to the external universe. Okay, so that's not at what I'm not at peace. 心宽体盘. Okay, Chinese, if you ever visited, they are pretty direct in pointing out anything about your body change, including pointing out that you look fat lately. Okay, that's really on the lingo. Probably nowadays, Chinese, after exposed to the world cultures, become more self-aware about the way they use language. Directly commenting another person's appearance is really rude. But before then, culturally, we don't have reservations about commenting on people's appearance. So, 心宽体盘, I guess, is probably one of the explainers why we don't have reservations. Because if your body looks fat, it's actually related, associated with, it's the uh, display or manifestation of you're actually have a heart wide, have a wide heart. Heart wide means, uh, okay, you have basically a big tolerance of what life throws at you. So 心宽体盘, pronounced as pan, but individually it pronounced as pang. 体胖 simply body looks fat, okay? But 心宽, it means you're almost like you're big-hearted. But in English, big-hearted means somebody who is generous, who's not self-centered. They really look after the whole clan. That's 心宽, a big heart. But 心宽 actually means you have a big range of tolerance and understanding of maybe what's going on in other people's life. So when unhappy scenarios occur, you can reframe it in a more positive way. So in other words, you are pretty Quan means you have a wide spectrum of acceptance of human behavior, including your own human behavior and others' human behavior that we may be pretty nasty sometimes, right? Or we fail sometimes. So that acceptance became this 心宽 concept. And if you have a wide range of acceptance, then that means whatever life throws at you, almost like a balls that life throws at you, you can catch wherever because they have a wide range versus small range ones, like easily have balls like you cannot catch and you feel off balance, you feel you're a victim. So 心宽 means you don't have that victim mentality, or you already trained yourself beyond that. And whatever, balls you're thrown at, you have the capacity and confidence, or at least the comfort to feel, even if you didn't catch it's okay. So you have that self-comforting capacity to rinse you off any frustrations easily, right, through life. So that's the type of mindset that's going to lead to body fat. Because in ancient times, probably food security was still a thing. And if you're under stress, the observation, at least among the Chinese population, is if you're under stress easily, pretty have low tolerance of anxieties from life, then most likely are not going to gain weight. People who gain weight, who exhibit 体胖, the rounded figure, then that means you really have a bigger heart, wide tolerance of life. So we embody that attitude actually with the Buddha, 弥勒佛. I forgot how to translate it, but someone who is smiling all the time and someone who has lots of body fat and who just enjoy life as is. Like apparently is a foodie, even if it's a Buddha, all right? Supposedly practicing some sort of Buddhist virtues, but is a Buddha that wears smile all the time and is the embodiment of the 心宽体胖. And here I just want to point out hard, lots of time for humans is about interpersonal relationship. And that's how Chinese have been using this in our language. Thank you for your time. See you another day.